Pointed at me and said, you know, if I don't dare to feed my grandson this chemical soy sauce, how can I feed the rest of Singapore?
Oh, that is powerful. Hey brother, so rumors said that you bring your soya sauce outside when you eat. Is that true or not?
Oh, how you know?
I know everyone's talking about it, man.
Yes.
Okay.
I do it because although it's more effort, but it gives me peace of mind. Because now you don't know what's in some of the sauces out there. So to make sure that my family have the real deal, I bring my own lah.
So what is that biggest screw-up thing that triggers you to bring your own soya sauce outside?
I think one of the biggest fear is the chemical called HCl, which is hydrochloric acid, which is used to hydrolyze soya sauce. So that kind of soya sauce is just a 1 or 2 day process. It's not the naturally fermented one, which takes months, in our case 9 months. So that is not something I know how to make or I want to be eating, consuming.
And it's sad, right? Initially I thought that there's only certain group of food that is highly processed and uses chemical, right, to bring down the cost for mass. But over the years, in my adventure of looking for the real thing, I've started to find that more and more food now, even condiments like soya sauce, is screwed up. So I think today is going to be an interesting day for me to really discover about all these important facts that I think will save a lot of us from having, disease, cancer, and many more problems. But I think what was more interesting earlier when I was taking a walk around your place, looking into all your magical vase, I was trying to look for this thing called hair.
Huh? No hair.
So just recently I saw an article saying that there was a factory making soya sauce that uses hair.
Oh my
gosh. Is there any armpit hair, your leg hair, anything you put inside?
Utterly gross. But
Okay.
I also have heard of it. It is a scandal, a food scandal, that in some places they actually use human hair and use acid to hydrolyze it.
Why the hell would someone put hair into the soy sauce?
I don't know, I have no idea, but probably to save cost, which is already not legit in the first place. So not only is it chemical hydrolyzed, but also it is not legit because you never see hair in the ingredient of a soy sauce bottle, right? So all these are some of the reasons why a lot of people now are very afraid of mass-produced as well as some of this food, what goes into the food that we consume these days.
Hey brother, by the way, that day I went to a very nice place, atas place. The promoter was telling me how good that soya sauce is, so I bought that bottle, really expensive, because my mother uses a lot of soya sauce in her cooking, almost like every dish. So when I went home, I said, hey ma, this is a very good soya sauce, right? Immediately she said, Chaya, is this real or fake? Then she started taking it under the light and, she was telling me, I got to test it out for 1 week, leave it out in the open and all that. And I asked her, hey, what is all this? She said she learned this from her neighbors telling her how to find out that if that is the quality soya sauce. So, but can you share with me the real techniques of how do we identify what is a screw-up soya sauce versus what is a really good soya sauce that you personally apply?
So Mark, it's very difficult with technology these days, but I can share with you some tips and tricks, and some secrets on how to identify if you buy me lunch.
Okay, I will go and I'll make sure that there's chili padi in the soya sauce, man. Let's go. Before our sambal belacan comes, I find that it's so crazy, the world right now. Everything is fusion, right? You put something in, then you call it another thing. So, in reality, how many types of soya sauce are there? Because for me, I was raised and I was served only 2 types: the light soya sauce and the dark soya sauce that we get in the bak kut tehs and everywhere you go lah.
Yes.
But how many types are there? Because that day when I went to another restaurant, right?
Headache, right?
No, headache. That young lady was telling me there are 30 types of soya sauce. I'm like, wow, okay.
So in different countries, they call it differently and they have different flavor profiles, right? But in this part of the world, or at least in Singapore, we have primarily 2. One is the light soya sauce and one is the dark soya sauce.
Okay.
Or as the dialect, we call it 旧青 and 导游.
Yeah. Right. So
or
these are the basic things that I see most household would definitely have.
Yes.
Right. And the crazy thing again, right, I mean, it's just so crazy because as I read and I research more about it, I find that the soya sauce making has also changed in terms of how it's been processed.
Yes, of course.
And what is the difference of how 30 years ago or during our grandparents' time or our parents' time versus now soy sauce is made? What is that difference?
So in the past, right, we backtrack 40, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, soy sauce was all made the old school, the traditional way.
Okay.
Right? Until technology came along, right, in the last few decades, and then it disrupted. Right? Soy sauce makers could then scale up, some of them scale up, and they're able to produce so much more sauce within a shorter time. So the traditional one minimum is 4 months and above, and then the modern one is almost like 1 to 2 days, using the HCl and hydrochloric acid and to hydrolyze that process and speed up the process. So comparatively, the cost of production goes down tremendously, right? Because you don't have something that takes 4 months and above, and then you now have something that's short. But the old traditional soy makers that stick to our roots, like us, so we take minimum of 9 months and above to make 1 bottle of sauce. And that's keeping to our principles as well as the taste that our customers have been used to, and of course the tremendous health benefits that come along.
You could have a chance to be sitting in a beautiful office tower on a 40th floor overlooking the whole city. But what kept you passionate about what you're doing right now? And probably I know you have been through struggles as well in your whole journey, but what is it that kept you continuing this? Is it your family that gave you the pressure and say, you know what, Ken, you got to continue a tradition, or what is it?
There's no pressure. In fact, I came from the corporate industry, and 13 years of that work. And there was a point in time, 3 years back, when I was deciding whether to come in and help, because the elders in the family are already near or past retirement age, right? So what was the thing that sealed the deal was actually my daughter.
What did your daughter do?
She was eating one day with our soy sauce, and then she just blurted out, "Papa, you must never stop this Nanyang sauce." And I was like, "Why?" She said, "Because the sauce is so yummy." And coming from her, it was like so heartwarming, And of course, I added with a question. I said, "What if Papa is tired? Because it's so tiring?" And then out of her own initiative, she said, "I will come and help you." And I was like, yes.
That was the light.
That was the light, Otherwise, they will not be able to grow up with good quality soy sauce. As I said, because I'm a foodie as well,
Yep.
And then, of course, when I wanted to come in, it is a sunset industry, and my mom actually decided to dissuaded me from coming in, because she said, why take 9 months to make a bottle of sauce and sell it for a couple of dollars, right, while you can make money in a corporate, in a sense.
Sitting in office.
Sitting in office with a pen and a paper, and you can make money.
Right.
So, but I think she failed to dissuade me, and that's why I am back in the family business.
And how did you find that balance, right? Because money is not everything, but money is critical. But how do you tell yourself that, I'm not going to be clouded by the needs of making big profits, and compromising that quality part of how that real thing should be? What is that? Is that your girl? Is it you, or what is it?
I think it's the values that my grandfather has passed down. Back in the 90s, I was the eldest grandson. So when I was about primary 5 or primary 6, I had a chance to always come to the factory during the holidays. And one day, he was having a meeting on his table with a group of people. And he was so angry. I remember that anger. He stood up and he scolded and told this group of people he was meeting to get out. And little did I know, after it, I understood that they were trying to convince him or sell him the concept of using chemicals to speed up the process, to increase the profitability. So he didn't. He pointed at me, and I thought, as a kid, I thought I did something wrong. He pointed at me and said, if I don't dare to feed my grandson this chemical soy sauce, how can I feed the rest of Singapore?
That is powerful. So that statement stayed with you until today, that quote?
Till today. And I think that's what he has left behind, his legacy. And we also have found our niche in the market. We're very small. We'll never be a big boy in this market, but we have found a niche catering to people who are very health conscious That's why at the same time they want good quality, because food is emotive. It reminds them, the sauce reminds them of their mothers, their grandmothers cooking when they were young. You know, and to this age, day and age, I don't think it's no longer about, you know, saving a few dollars. A lot of us, in fact, are looking for alternative sources, right, of a good quality, non-GMO, organic food that, you know, once consumed, it's going to do good to our insides.
So, I think today I also wanted to really see the process behind the scene, which is a big challenge, right? I mean, I wanted to visit many factories around the world. Many people, it's like, I'm sorry, you can't come in. You know, they'll probably meet me in some Starbucks or some office space and talk about it. But I'll be interested to see today, you know, and I'm really grateful, you know, for you opening up.
You're most welcome.
For me to really go behind the back doors and see how a bottle of soy sauce is being made. So, show me more.
Sure.
All right, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go.